because it's one of those movies you don't want to be spoiled, right? So I can't.
Okay. Well,
I can't, like,
thoughts and feelings, though. You can give thoughts and feelings without spoiling.
Oh, it's good.
Okay. Excellent.
Oh, it's good. Very good. You could tell that the filmmakers were definitely fans of the series. But I can't give it away. But also, like, it's also very appropriate for our show. It's and it pains me to say that. So, like, I can't say anything. But, like, the theme is toxic fandom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So it's like I don't want to get more into it than that. You know what I mean? So, like,
Okay.
but you have to be very familiar with the first one. Like,
excellent.
Intimately
As in
familiar.
Rewatching it every year familiar.
Like, you gotta know character names, yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Well, excellent.
That's my 10-second snap preview of Scream, because I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
No, and like it's gonna be so hard too, because there's nothing. I checked drive-ins around here, nothing's playing it. None of them are open for the season for that one.
It's only up by me that they're playing it.
Yeah, so lucky.
Yeah. Very lucky. We have a special guest today.
Oh, Wilbur. Oh,
hello.
He's like, he does the same thing Parker does, where he's like, "You're talking, but I can't. You must be talking to me."
Am I talking to you, Wilbur? Are you talking? Did you sleep okay? Yeah, you were snoring. Yeah, he's a good boy.
Yeah, he's snoring. What an old man.
He is old.
I feel like I could beat him though in a
snore off.
Snore competition.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So, Peacemaker. Here we are.
Oh, holy crap!
The show we never thought we'd watch, but we need content for the show, so here we are.
Okay, so I don't even know, because it strays so far from what we usually do that I think I'm just gonna change the format a little bit.
Okay.
Because no, I'm not gonna. But it's like, do we actually do one of those like cutie full reviews where we don't talk about Drag Race, we just cut right to the chase?
I mean, we could talk about. I mean, I haven't watched. I'm not caught up yet, so I don't think I'd be much of a conversationalist for Drag Race.
Okay, we'll save it for another week, though.
Yes.
All right. So
yes.
The whole idea behind Peacekeeper. By the way, folks, hello.
Oh yeah.
And welcome to Volume at 50%. The Volume at 50% podcast. I'm your COVID queen, G.I. Jolie.
And I'm
joined, yes, by Harvey Brent, who is 90%, 95% healthy.
I think so. I don't think I have COVID.
No, I definitely would just reserve that last 5% all the time. So, Oh, here comes the wheeze. Yep. Okay, don't breathe too deeply. Jeez, it's like on it, people. Don't get it. Just don't get it. Just don't do it. They say Omicron is mild, but when they say mild, imagine the worst flu you've ever had for 10 days of your life. That's what they mean by mild. By mild, I mean you won't be hospitalized. That's what they mean. So just don't get it and you'll be okay. Unfortunately, apparently retail is necessary. It is, I guess, whatever. Retail, we're allowed to stay open. I take the risk by going to work every day. And here we are.
Oh, man.
It's clearing up, though. The third day was dicey. We're looking at, panic attacks and hospital trips.
Oh, my God.
Because the moment you start to get short of breath, you start to freak out. You're like, is this it? Is this where I close my eyes and 3 weeks later I wake up in an ICU?
But also, it'd be all over by then at that point. You'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to sleep. Induce me. Coma.
Yeah. Get the vaccine. I don't care. Just get it.
Get boosted.
Get boosted. Get your fourth. We're lucky enough to live in a country where we are on our 4th shot.
Mm.
Let's just fucking do it for us.
You hear that, Belgium? Do it.
You hear that, parts of Wisconsin? Do it. Okay, anyway, back to Peacemaker. So, traditionally, we only do Disney Marvel Plus shows. But since they are taking...
Disney Marvel Plus?
Marvel Disney Plus.
She got it bad, folks.
Yeah, the dyslexia is not a side effect of the virus. Marvel Disney Plus shows, but for some reason they're taking like the longest hiatus known to man. So to fill our time, James Gunn and DC Comics and HBO Max have graced us with probably, I would say, the best comic book show in the world.
It's different, that's for sure.
Okay, maybe that's too hot of a takeoff, but let's get into it. Okay, so we are going to be talking about, for the next few episodes, it's like the Suicide Squad or Suicide Squad.
I think it's just Peacemaker.
It's just Peacemaker.
I think it's just awesome. A mononym, just Peacemaker.
Awesome. So we're here to talk about Peacemaker, starring WWE superstar John Cena.
2-time Royal Rumble winner, but who's counting?
How do you, with those shoulders, how do you lose?
How do you lose? Who's going to throw you over the top rope? Not I.
But who's counting? Okay, so Peacemaker's character, they directly have taken this from the Suicide Squad film that James Gunn sort of was handed last year.
It was last summer, yeah.
Yeah. The film apparently didn't do as well in the box office as they thought it would.
That's COVID.
But it's one of the best DC movies that was released, I would say.
That is saying something, but yes.
Yes. And when I say one of the best, I mean somebody took that film, somebody wrote like a really good screenplay, a good enough screenplay, and made it coherent, and it wasn't a mess.
Mm-hmm.
If we're comparing it to Suicide Squad, which was the very first film that was made about that ragtag team. Excuse me. Yep. I'm gonna blame that one. It is definitely a masterpiece in comparison, because that first one was horse shit.
I do remember the first one. Yeah, I didn't like that one too much. I will say though, now that you're opening this Pandora's box already, I think I liked Birds of Prey better.
Do you know what? I did too. I keep forgetting about that one.
Yeah, I often forget about it though. I agree with you.
And like, people out there who are saying Birds of Prey is a lousy movie, shut up and watch it again.
I thought it was fine. I don't know. But also, I know literally next to nothing about DC, so.
Yeah. I know more about DC comics than probably Marvel. And I'm still... I think so.
Whoa. I'm not worthy. I'm so sorry.
I say that, I mean, I've read more DC comics than I have Marvel comics.
But that's like, I thought your baseline knowledge was 0 as well, but no, you...
It's still 0 though. Like you can, it's like no, that's a bad comparison, because it's like, I've read the Harry Potter books, but I know nothing about Harry Potter. Are you kidding me? I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
But no, like I still couldn't tell you, like, there's still like a gap. There's still gaps in my knowledge.
Okay.
Where there are gaps in Marvel. Like, I'm not a pro, but I can keep up in a conversation.
Okay, that's our baseline. So you're going to be like the de facto person we go to, and we're like, is this legit? What do you think of this? Because like, I'm just watching this. I'm watching Peacemaker. It's just like a TV show. I did see Suicide Squad, so I'm familiar with the character, that he played last summer. So like, that whole like previously on thing, I was like, seen it, know it, bought the ticket, didn't actually downloaded it, but that's fine. Let's go.
Do you know what? I also forget about Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. Okay, that one's
Oh,
really good.
yes.
I
Okay, so
still,
third best DC movie,
yeah.
Suicide Squad.
Oh shoot, Christopher Nolan's Batman.
Is that the
Batman's.
same universe?
I would say so.
Okay, well
It's
then
DC.
seventh best DC movie, Suicide Squad.
Yes. Okay. We digress. I digress. Who am I kidding?
I smell an
Tangent.
episode title, seventh best DC movie.
First best DC television show.
Yes.
And I wonder if it's because HBO has a track record of um prestige, like just prestige.
This is the thing about HBO Max.
Mhm.
They could put out literally somebody sitting on a toilet taking a shit for 30 minutes and release 8 episodes of it, and I would watch it. Like, I am obsessed with HBO Max.
Right? Because the
I'll watch it all.
cinematography would
The
be great.
writing.
The writing would be flawless.
Hmm.
The casting would be top notch. I
It's
feel like that's Euphoria.
quite literally, yeah. Like, there's nothing I won't watch that's HBO Max. So, like, this was a given.
Mhm. Okay, so let me pull up my synopsis. So in the first episode, we are reintroduced to John Cena as Peacemaker,
Hmm.
or um,
Christopher
his
Smith.
character Christopher Smith.
Ding ding.
Yes, and they repeat it quite often. And it's also part of the show's tagline is that he's a merciless killer who believes in achieving peace at all costs, no matter how many people he has to kill to get it.
Hmm.
Which some people would say is a little backwards, but anyway. So
Feels very
he,
Dextery. That's fine.
yeah, but like a little less, yeah, very dextery.
Hmm.
Maybe a little less meticulous, but
Yes.
speaking of HBO Max, Dexter. Anyway, that's another show. That's another show. No more tangents. Okay. So this show takes place directly after the events of the Suicide Squad film, where we see spoiler alert if you haven't watched it. Um, Peacemaker kills Flag. Has a building dropped on him and goes to jail. This is his release from jail and into society again. But as we all know, when you sign a contract with Amanda Waller, it must be fulfilled.
It's signed in blood.
Apparently, she is DC's Mephisto without the magic.
Yes.
Yeah, she's got like Shonda Rhimes magic behind her, but that's Viola Davis in general. But okay, so he comes out of jail. He's like just shocked that he's even allowed to be set free because he's like a douchebag who's done a lot of shitty things. He immediately goes home to his trailer that is a giant American flag.
Which also is like always such a red flag for me when I see that in someone's house. I'm like, you stand for nuclear family 1950s values, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you hide the keys to your home in a Elvis Presley chipmunk?
You have no taste.
Cute, but you have no taste.
He's got COVID. No taste.
Didn't lose it though, thank
Oh,
God.
thank God.
Yeah. There is a side effect though where you can't smell farts, which is surprisingly
Inviting.
amazing.
Yeah, I could see that actually.
Yeah, but burning smells. You can smell them immediately.
Well, that's good though, because that's like a safety thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law became like a hound dog. He's like, "Oh, is something burning?" It's like, "No, we're just cooking dinner, man." Okay, anyway, back to it. So he goes to his trailer, but here's the thing. Again, Amanda Waller, you owe her a debt. And like a Lannister, she always pays her debts. He's got like 37 years left of his 40-year contract with what is that little organization called?
I don't remember. It's a thing though.
Hmm. Okay, so she has, as punishment, because there's all of these agents who helped them, who knocked her the hell out, Amanda
Yes.
Waller in the film, and helped the team sort of like kill all those monsters. So she's taken some of them from we've taken now we see some of those agents, and they have been placed on a special assignment called Project Butterfly. And John Cena's character Peacemaker is their sort of superhero. Super powered, I should say. Let's not use heroes too quickly here.
No.
He is a super powered being who is going to help that team in Project Butterfly. So we
So
have.
is he superpowered himself, or is it just the helmet powers? I was not clear on that.
I think that his body runs on the power of bigotry, misogyny, and racism,
So he is superpowered. Okay, yeah, he's super strong then.
as well as the helmets.
Okay, the helmets I understood, but I was like, I'm not actually clear if he had like super strength. But
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, wait, does he go visit his dad first?
before what?
Before they recapture him?
Mm, oh shit, I don't remember. I think he goes home first.
Yes. Oh, yes, he does.
I think that's the
Yes.
first place he goes because that's where they drop him off in the taxi.
Yes. Okay, so he goes home first. He has to break in. He has no key. He goes in, discovers that his cell phone service has been active for the full 5 years that he's been in jail. And he answers his message, or he listens to his messages, and they're all messages from one dude, Vigilante, played by Freddie Stroma, who, by the way, is Cormac McLagan
From Harry Potter.
From Harry Potter.
I looked that up.
Annoying. Yeah, I was like, dude, this dude is one, cute. Two, had no idea, but a great actor. I sort of hate his character from Harry Potter, just because he's like after Hermione and is a little bit annoying, kind of a lech.
Yeah.
He doesn't let you down in this one.
No.
Oh, another blonde coming to the rescue of another blonde.
Oh, I liked when we used to match.
Yeah,
That was fun.
Yeah, you guys did have the same sort of tone.
We did. Yeah. Platinum realness.
Mm-hmm. Listen to that tail. Smack.
We're recording, sir. Excuse me. Anyways, proceed.
He's like, oh, sorry, I forgot again. Thank you, Wilbur, for your input. Okay, so what he does is because he was trained by Augie Smith, who is his father, played by
Robert Patrick?
Yes, geez, he's a scary man. Ooh, he's played by Robert Patrick. He goes to his house, his father's house, where, wouldn't you know, they fly the American flag upside down. They have a version of the General Lee outside, but it's painted patriotic flag.
Yuck.
Yeah, lifted truck with like a rifle rack on the top. He goes home where we find out that his dad is a gigantic racist who raised him to be a killer, like a world-class killer, but also it is as a complete dickhead. At every turn, he's kind of like, you know what? He like Peacemaker comes in and he's like, hey, Dad, I was shot. I was up in the hospital. He's like, you let someone shoot you? I was
completely
like,
unreasonable.
Yeah, this kind of man is the kind of man that if Peacemaker's character wasn't listening to choir boys and Cinderella growing up, he probably would have put his head in that stew until he stopped breathing. Like, serial killer in the making. Anyway, he's always known his son to be a little bit soft, and you think that he is, or you don't think that he is until he like kind of gives you little hints throughout the show, which is kind of nice. I like it. Okay, so anyway, he goes to his dad to get a new uniform and a new helmet. He picks the Sonic Boom one,
which excellent choice, as we find out later.
Mm-hmm. And then he goes back to his trailer to kind of like regroup, and that's where we leave off. the agents come to get him. So we have 3 agents. We have John Economist, the beard. Excuse me. Amelia Harcourt, the blonde. And then we have Tasty.
Yes.
From Orange is the New Black.
Orange is the New Black, yeah.
It was probably the best addition to this character roster. Danielle Brooks is her name. Sorry.
I like her.
I love her.
Yeah.
I really like her too. And apparently, she is the daughter of Amanda Waller.
Yes.
So
and she's the only one Amanda Waller trusts on this assignment.
Amazing. You want to take it from here?
I want to take it from here. I mean, yeah, I guess, the Peacemaker and the rest of the team gather at a restaurant where they give Peacemaker his killing assignment, which I believe, I don't think we hear their name yet, but it's a famous politician. Famous politician.
Local politician?
Senator. I'm gonna guess a senator, because who cares about local politics? Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's terrible. So after that, Peacemaker runs, or rather follows one of the agents, and I forget her name already. You said it 2 seconds ago.
Amelia Harcourt, who is played by James Gunn's girlfriend.
Harcourt, yes. Follows her to a bar where she shows us why she's a strong, independent female, whoops some white trash guy's ass. It's great. There, Peacemaker encounters a woman who is very much interested in him, and he goes back with her to her apartment. They hook up, and that's when all of a sudden, as he's laying in bed, she just kind of comes, or not, he's not laying in bed, he's dancing. He's dancing to some vinyl, to a song by the Choir Boys. And that's when she comes in and attacks him and beats the hell out of him. She just turns all meta-human on him. Very, very Project Butterfly, as we come to find out, which we're not fully sure what that means, but it's a word. It's a plot device. We'll see where it goes. And at the end, in order to escape her, because she's super powered and whooping his ass, he activates the sonic boom helmet, and she gets splattered. I think that's
like a bug on a windshield. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, we forgot to mention Eagly.
Oh yeah. Eagly. Which, okay, do you think it's animatronic, or do you think it's CGI, or do you think it's a real eagle?
I think it's like all 3.
Okay.
I think there are parts where it's animatronic.
Yeah.
And then there are other parts like where it's like a combination of the two, or the combination of a real eagle and a CGI face. So okay, so that's the end of episode 1. Let's go all the way back to the opening credits.
What is that? Opening credits.
And the end, let's just mention Eagly. So at the end, Eagly flies in and gives us some jazz hands, but I feel like you could get a real eagle to do that, but I don't think you could get a real eagle to smile and wink at the camera. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like they maybe CGI'd parts of him. Also, when he goes back to his dad's house, this is the main reason why he goes back to his dad's house. Oh, no, wait, that's why. Because he goes back to get Eagly. So they definitely recapture him, and then he goes to his dad's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Eagly has been being babysat by dad, dear old Aki, and he hugs him. He's so excited to see Peacemaker again, and then he hugs him. It's so sweet. It's like this. It's the sweetest.
He's like, take a picture.
Yeah, Dad, I can't reach my phone. Can you get it? Okay. So thoughts, feelings, initial reactions.
It feels very I didn't realize at first it was James Gunn until I was watching the credits, but it feels very Guardians of the Galaxy on Earth with white trash. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. The tone of the DC properties are always very more cheeky, I find. Yeah. They're cheeky. They try to be edgy. Sometimes they are, and sometimes they're not. I think This one, I don't know. So the thing with Peacemaker is he tries to be edgy, but he's also quite unlikable for a
Mm,
main character, which is fine. I'm not turned away by unlikable primary. I don't want to call him protagonists, but the primary character. So I'm very curious to see if he's going to become redeemable or not. But he's quite gross.
yeah.
He's gross, but I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just the way it's written, and we'll see where it goes. But I I enjoyed it though. I'm
Hmm.
interested in this. It's something different. Like it's super different than what we just watched at Hawkeye. So I'm like, okay, this is almost like a I don't want to call it a palate cleanser. It's just a nice different flavor where I don't feel like I'm constantly watching superhero
Yeah.
shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
into it.
have you been watching The Boys at all?
Oh my God, I love The Boys. Which,
Right?
side note, Jack Quaid is also in Scream. Fresh meat, baby. So yeah, there's a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
what am I gonna do until I can find a bootleg copy? I am
There should
not
be
watching it,
ones.
Cam.
I know. I'm sorry. If I'll keep my eye on the Reddit thread. No, you don't go on the Reddit thread because it'll spoil it for you, but I'll keep my eye on the Reddit thread for you and see if there's any actual versions.
Cool. I I could, as long as any of my media friends out there want to throw me a screener, I would love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyway, so I like this. The intro. You asked about the intro too.
Hmm.
Holy guacamole, what was that? It's very, I love how it feels very, what's that era? That early 90s? Like this, like a dance number, but it's also like, it's taken very seriously. I don't know where they pulled that from, but it feels derivative. Like I feel like I've seen that in older properties before, but at the same time, it's brought back and it's fresh and weird, and I can't look away.
Yeah, it's like a weird mix of like 80s and 90s, like late 80s glam rock,
Yes.
and then sort
But
of, yeah.
the mood behind the dance number where it's like serious and like choreographed and like simple.
Yeah, it's like very jazzercise.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't like I think there's quite a few references mixed in there to give you that, but it was interesting. I'm like
Hmm.
I couldn't, I think there was an article this week from James Gunn saying he never wants you to skip the intro credits, and he got me. I watched it twice in a row so
Hmm.
far. So
Do you know what's really great too? And I wonder if they grappled with this. Is that, you know how sometimes when a new show starts, it doesn't always play the intro credits. Like it's just the show, and then a small slice of like when they do go to play the intro credits, like it's a small like written and directed by blah blah blah.
yeah.
I found. I wonder if they struggled with do we just drop that on them immediately, or do we go full hog on the second episode? Because let me tell you, okay, one, we should tell you, they dropped 3 episodes on us. So
Hmm.
me and Brent have both watched the first 2.
I watched, yeah, two. I haven't watched the third yet.
Yeah. So it's when I watched the second, when I watched the first and I watched that intro credit scene, I was like, this means this is weird. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen. They're not smiling because I'm used to like choreographed, highly choreographed jazz.
Think Glee.
Yeah, like to be smiling and campy, but they're all like very serious. They have serious HBO soprano faces on because it's HBO.
You have to be serious.
But once you get through all of the characters, in the measly 43 minutes that they gave us, you get to know a lot about them and how they relate to Peacemaker. When you see that intro the second time, it matters. Like that intro credit scene is like, oh, this is hilarious. There's like a different uh there's a different feeling that I got about the intro credit scene. Like I
Yeah,
was part of the joke now.
the more characters I got introduced to, the more I'm like, oh, okay, this is weird. And then
Yeah.
like it made more sense. I felt like I was in on the joke. Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And I like you feel like it has a very Guardians of the Galaxy flavor, but I feel like now that Guardians of the Galaxy flavor is James synonymous with just James Gunn doing action or superhero properties, comic book properties, I should say.
So Well, yes, and actually that's a good thing you brought that up. So and it's very heavy on the musical influences, and he picks a certain era, and i.e. in this case, it's that '80s glam rock, and it's great. But
Hmm.
and I don't know if we probably want to talk about episode 2 next time. That's fine.
Hmm.
But episode 2, I swear to God, there was so many musical overlays to scenes. It literally felt like a music video at one point. There was
Yeah.
I was like, okay, a little too much. Like you did not need the background track here for putting Peacemaker's dad in the cop car. Like it was like, why? Like it was, it just, a little too much music. But I
Yeah.
appreciate the general brand that James Gunn gives us.
Yeah. It's like the whole time I was watching, I was like, you know what? Some plucky someone or other is going to take this show and write a paper on it and base a whole semester of lectures on just the musicality of the show, uh,
I
and
went to
how
art school and
it
studied glam
tells,
rock.
right? I'm going to say it right now. This is where comic scholarship, film studies, and music collide.
The intersectionality is where we're at. I'm doing my PhD thesis on the HBO Max show Peacemaker, starring WWE two-time Royal Rumble winner John Cena.
As it pertains to 1984's super glam super group, the Choir Boys.
The Choir Boys.
And their effect. Oh my God, you said intersectionality and I couldn't even.
Sorry, I came at you fast and furious with that one.
Right? Oh God, I can't. And honestly, oh sorry, I just had flashbacks from like PhD defenses, and I almost had like a PTSD heart murmur.
My everyday.
Yeah, it's like I only witnessed them. You went through it, so I can't even imagine. Like when you and Harry were in like inviting people to your PhD defenses, I was like, no, 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 I'll stay home.
Oh, girl, no, I have a master's, not a PhD. I'm not that crazy.
Oh shit,
Yeah, but yeah, same
you
same
could
diff.
though. You could if you wanted to.
Oh, I know I could, but I don't want to. It's been discussed recently with people, and I was like, no,
No.
absolutely not.
Yeah, she doesn't need all of she already owns 51% of this company. She doesn't need to own 52.
She done already had hers is.
Okay. So that's the first episode of HBO's Peacemaker. And
Did you
I
learn anything?
Is that a question for real? Absolutely not. But here's the thing. It was awesome.
I enjoyed it. Like I like again, I appreciate, like, especially coming after Hawkeye, which felt very
Strictly comics.
strictly comics, but also a holiday motif. And
Mhm.
now it's like it's giving me just that palate cleanser. It's almost like, I mean, I'm sure this is a lazy comparison, but it feels almost very Deadpool-y.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Deadpool, don't get me wrong, it's its own thing, but like it's very cheeky, and um, it's in on the joke. And I kind of actually, as from the DC films that I have seen, I haven't seen them all, but I do like that about DC. It doesn't take itself as seriously as Marvel, so it's always like just a little different brand of superhero, which is, I guess, refreshing,
Mhm.
kind of.
Yeah. It's nice to bring them all to HBO.
Nice, yes. Thank you, HBO.
I kind of wish that they brought the other WB, like Superman, the Superman show, like Hawk and Dove. Hawk and Dove?
I thought you were talking like
Um,
Smallville and like Arrow and like
oh no. Oh, do you know what? It would have been nice if Arrow was HBO. Shit, that would have been something else.
a lot more nudity.
Mmm. Dear Stephen Amell, come back to us, please.
He's from Toronto, isn't he?
Yes, I think so.
I like
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
he has a brother too. That's like fairly famous.
Oh, his brother?
Robbie.
Oh, that's his cousin.
They're not brothers?
No, but they look like brothers.
They look, well.
Yeah. I think because they play in the same Hollywood sandbox too, they're always like together. I thought they were brothers too, but I too had to look that one up.
Oh my God, they look so similar.
Yeah, like one blonde, One Ken blonde, one Ken brunette.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm gagged by that. I thought they were
No,
brothers this entire time.
So we're gonna do just the one episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll save 2 and 3 together because we had to get this out of the way. We're getting rolling here. And you have COVID.
Hopefully not for very much longer. The good news is I'm testing out negative right now.
I think you're on your way out of it. You don't seem as bad as when I was talking to you earlier in the week. So I think you're definitely on the upward trajectory.
Yeah, the cough is not. I mean, at night it's freaking terrible, but like today the shortness of breath is not there unless I'm physically active. I can feel it because I'm getting excited. Like when I get excited and I talk too much, I have a shortness of breath. Sorry, Lucy, I'm doing it right now. Okay. So if you, like us, like this change of pace, what are your thoughts of HBO Max's Peacemaker series? Did you watch the second Royal Rumble that John Cena was in? What are your thoughts and feelings on those? Because as we know, Harvey Brent also, he can talk wrestling. So
strangely, yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah. Just get into us. Get in on it. Get to us about it.
Of course.
Send us an email at fullvolumepod@gmail.com, or you can listen to this and all of our other episodes. It's good to be back, by the way, at at www.comicbooksyndicate.com.
She's got COVID. Stop judging her.
I know, it's the brain frog. It's coming back. It's setting in. You could just search the Full Volume Podcast up in our podcast section, or you can listen to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, pretty much, iTunes, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Just search the Comic Book Syndicate Network or the Full Volume Podcast. I have been your host. I've been
our COVID queen.
Yeah, I've been 55% of your host. 65. I would say 65% of a host. G.I. Jolie.
And I've been Harvey Brent.
And until next time, keep it loud.
Keep it at full volume. COVID free. Bye.
Yes, keep it COVID free. Don't freaking get this. It sucks. Bye.